Alright guys, I keep getting asked, hey, you own both Stryker 955hp, Lincoln 2. Well, which one's better? Let's just say, first of all, you go down to features. They both cover about the same amount of bands. Stryker claims a little more PEP power, but a couple watts PEP power locally isn't going to do much. If you do your math and read any basic stuff, you know you need to change your output power by 4 times to give 1 S unit of difference on the other side. So if you're running 20 watts of power and your neighbor's down the road 6 miles and you're giving him a 5, just as an example, 20 watts of power and you're giving him a 5, you need to get 100 watts of power to give him a 6. So we'll leave it at that. So right off the bat, apples to apples on power. Well, the Stryker has, a little more power, but you're really not going to notice it locally. Go over to echo. Both of them have echo, time and delay. Both of them are adjustable. Okay. Roger beep. With Stryker, you can make your own personal Roger beep with software. With the Lincoln, you can adjust the Roger beep as well, but it's only a beep. Like 1 beep. You can adjust both things in the Roger beep on a Lincoln without software, which is a plus. The Stryker, you must use their software. Some guys are having a hard time connecting their Stryker to their PC. But again, as far as Roger beep goes, the Stryker, you can do more with the Roger beep. Again, how often do you use Roger beeps? Okay. Noise blanker on both is very good. The high cut on the Stryker is also very good. It's also NB high cut on a Lincoln is very good. Band modes. Stryker, you flick a switch, go to the bands. Lincoln, same thing, there's a band switch. AM, FM, PA, upper sideband, lower sideband on the Stryker. Pretty much the same thing on the Lincoln as well. You have your dual watch and stuff like that on the Lincoln. You have to add a different board in the Stryker to do fancier things. Optional accessory. Background color. You can change 7 different background colors on the Lincoln. You can change background colors on the Stryker. You can change the Strykers to show display as far as you can customize the name of your display on your Stryker, show the voltage, stuff like that. You have SWR protection on both. You have power protection on both. You have timeout protection on both. Stryker, you can use any microphone on, pretty much. Of course, there are microphones that are going to be more of an impedance match to the radio, but you can use a more range of microphones on the Stryker. But the Lincoln has a beautiful stock mic. Its electric mic is very nice. I know the Lincolns do not like a high microphone to a mixing board. It will cause channel issues, or like in a static 575 M6. I'll have channel issues on both of my Lincolns, even my new replacement Lincoln. The Lincoln has less twisty dials, but more push button dials. That's a smaller package radio. The Stryker has many dials and knobs on the face. You have to learn on the Stryker to go straight in on the radio to adjust what you need to adjust. Now, if you don't make adjustments all that often, that's a non-issue. But if you're going from your local channel up to 38 lower sideband, up into the ham bands, stuff like that, you can you go to VFO mode, you're spinning dials all the time and a channel button, and then you got your clarifier on the Lincoln. You push the channel dial in, go to the band you want, push the channel button in, spin the dial under, whatever number you want, and just twist it, hit again, twist it, hit again, twist it, and get to the frequency you want. Once you get used to both of them, you can almost get to this frequency as much as you want. Lincoln has memory channels. Okay, you can program channels into memory, and it will hold whatever power. It'll hold your setting, like your sideband, upper and lower sideband. It'll hold if you had echo on that channel or Roger beep on that channel. So the Lincoln will hold things in memory for you. Stryker does not have any memory options. It's a hard call. The Stryker's bigger, the Lincoln's smaller. The Stryker, on average, again, will do 20 plus quote PEP more than the Lincoln. But 20 plus PEP locally isn't going to get you much of an S unit difference on the receiving side. Lincoln doesn't have that much of a frequency response range out of the box. Stryker has a little better frequency response range out of the box. They're both pretty clean on scope and analyzer out of the box, but they both can be adjusted by a good technician to do very well. You will get great audio reports stock on both of them. The Lincoln 2 Plus requires you to add a 1K 0 ohm resistor and then put in a code to convert. The Stryker, you must remove a very minute onboard object that is about 1/7 or 1/8 the size of a grain of rice. Very small. So if you're just going to convert these radios side by side and you don't have any decent soldering skills, the Lincoln may be easier for you to convert. You can get the 1K 0 ohm resistors on eBay for like $4 for 100. It's hard to just find one. Radio Shack's not open anymore. You just go down and pick one out of the box. On the Stryker, you're just removing an item. So again, it's a back and forth. Lincoln comes with a very nice stock microphone with channel up down buttons, which you may never use. But the stock microphone is matched to the radio. The Stryker comes with a mediocre stock microphone, kind of like when you get in a paintball. If you ever played paintball, you spend $1,500 on a paintball marker, and you throw the barrel in the garbage, you spend $300 on a barrel kit. So with the Stryker, they don't give you a real fancy stock microphone out of the box. Take that for what it's worth. Most guys have microphones laying around. With the Lincoln, you get a nice, clean sounding electric microphone out of the box. But again, it doesn't like to take a lot of microphones through mixing boards. And the Lincoln also doesn't like the Astatic 575 M6. I have not tested it with other Astatic microphones. The issue there is you unkey after you transmit and you will drop a channel. We've tried different things back and forth with President, and we've been unsuccessful in resolving that issue. Now, President, we're going to get into standing behind products. Both companies are very good at standing behind their products. They both have customer support. Keep your receipts. Make sure you take it to a qualified tech if you're going to have work done. Don't take it to a hack shop. Make sure the technician you're getting any work done uses a scope and an analyzer, not just a bird meter, and put swing kits, mod kits, spread coil gumbo into them, because these companies aren't going to warranty something that's totally been hacked up. A lot of companies these days will want to see a product back and check it out before they make a determination. They're here to make money. So if you're going to get these radios and use them on 11 meters and you only get them converted, that's your best thing to do. The best thing to do, if you can't find a good radio technician, if you can't afford a good radio technician, If the radio technician you pick cannot show things on a scope and analyzer, convert the radios, put a good microphone on them, and enjoy them. Personally, if I had to only choose one, I could not do so. I love the Lincoln. I started way back in the day with the 2510s when they came out. I also am very fond of the Stryker 955s. You know, they're both good radios. So in the end, to answer the question out there that I keep getting in private messaging, since I post pictures on which one I'm going to go with, I own both. I use both. It's just they both do what they both do together, so to speak. You know, they all have the features. One's a little less powerful, but more fancy lights and a loop show, if you're into that. But again, locally, 15-20 watts isn't gonna. It's just not gonna matter. One nice thing I like is both of them do not drift on sideband. I talk a lot of sideband, and the Stryker's usually 99.9% on. The Lincoln always on. You know, I never get a report on either of these radios that I'm off frequency on sideband. Just I don't get it. Since they are a little more powerful radios, always make sure to remember to use the manufacturer's stock power cable for them. There's a lot of guys out there will have an old radio, and just because it takes the same plug. As an example, I have a stock unit in Grant XL. That stock unit in Grant XL I can run with the power cable with the 4 amp fuse. Sure. You hook the Lincoln or Stryker back up to that power cable, you do any extensive talking, 12 or 15 seconds on your radio, the power cable is going to get warm and that fuse is going to pop. So remember, use the power cable that comes with these radios. Okay? Something a lot of guys, don't understand. Manufacturer sends a power cable with its product for a reason. Again, if I was going to choose just one in this big old boxing match, I don't know who would come out on top. I guess you guys could comment below what you think. But between a Stryker and a Lincoln, they're both good radios. If you're just looking at a price advantage, if that's all you're going to do is convert it and you want a cheaper radio, you're looking around right now, today's pricing, $249 for the Lincoln, and you're looking at $334 for the Stryker 955. That may be a factor in your decision. That may be a factor. What do you get extra with the Stryker? You get software and a programming cable. A little more power. Okay, if we're going to get technical. Different components, of course. What's the advantage of the Lincoln? $100-something less. And a very good stock microphone. I mean, a good, clean sounding stock microphone. Less audio frequency, but a good, clean stock radio out of the box. Stryker, you pop that thing out, you throw a SRA 198 microphone on that Stryker, she's going to be clean, nice, beautiful, noise canceling microphone. Only thing about the Lincoln is it's a 6-pin. You can buy adapters, but it doesn't come with an adapter in the box. They want you to buy, of course, and use their microphone. Again, it's a nicely designed electric microphone. It does sound good. They want you to use it. So for $10, if you want to get picky, go on eBay for $10 and buy yourself a 4 to 6-pin adapter. Other companies throw the 4 to 6-pin adapters in, even though they give you a 6-pin mic. But then again, the plus is, you're driving down the road, you're talking to your buddy, and you're done with the conversation. You want to go back up to channel 19 to monitor just to see where traffic is or whatever. On the Lincoln, if you are the stock bike, you just go beep, 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 up or down a couple channels, turn the beep on, and you're good. Stryker, you'd have to reach down to the radio and spin the dial. So Stryker will take pretty much any 4-pin microphone. I haven't had any problems with the Stryker with audio. Lincoln, I've only had a couple, I've had issues in learning what microphones I can't use with them, and I guess we'll leave it at that. It was a learning. Both that mic gain, RF gain, they got talkback. You have talkback in the Lincoln. You just go turn it on. It's under monitor in the menu. And on a Stryker, talkback is just a switch. So again, guys, it's your call. I can't make a decision for you. If you're going a cheaper option, the Lincoln's fine. You're not going to be burnt by spending $100 less at the Lincoln. We'll really leave it at that. If you have a little more money, you like a bigger radio, a little flashier, and a little tiny bit more power, then a 955 is the radio for you. I can't stress it enough. They're both good radios. They both do pretty much 98% of the same thing. Power is comparable. Both manufacturers will stand behind their products, and you guys go from there. So I hope this was helpful. I own both radios. I'm happy with both radios, and I'd like to see your comments and what you guys think.